Welcome everybody. We are delighted to have you all today for this new series of webinars organized by the Argentina-Texas Chamber of Commerce. My name is Silvia Melnichuk. I am part of the Technology and Innovation Committee. And as a Chamber of Commerce, we have the mission, the objective to help companies on both sides, Texas and Argentina, to expand their businesses, scale up. And today's webinar is very related to that. We are going to have this presentation in a moment. I will introduce you the speakers. However, I would like to remind you that we are really expecting to have questions in the presentation, and also if you are interested about how we work and what other activities we do, we are going to be delighted to connect with you through the chat so we can give you more information about that. Today we are going to have Louise Roder, which works on Amazon Business, a bridging communities team. And she is a person who is responsible for developing programs for small and diverse sellers that need or want to expose better their products on the selling opportunities on Amazon. This is a very interesting way of expanding businesses, and obviously a tool that it's interesting to know to take advantage of. So welcome, Louis. We are
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. And I have a peer that's going to be joining with us in just a minute. So I'll look forward to her logging on. She'll be here in just a couple seconds. But in the meantime,
Melissa is here.
What?
Melissa is going to be able to join.
Yes, yes.
Great, because as she's working with Brazil, being Brazilian and working, facilitating business for companies that want to sell in Brazil, it's going to have a very special point of view to help us understand the situation for the rest of Latin America, isn't it?
Perfect, perfect. So I am going to go ahead and share my screen. And can you just tell me, I want to make sure I've got the right screen up. So if you could just let me know if you're seeing that. Oh, okay, awesome.
Perfect.
Perfect. All right, good. Well, I like when the technology actually works. So I am going to just move this for a second and pull this up on my screen. Okay, great. So I'm really happy to be here today and want to extend a warm welcome to all of you that are on the WebEx today. I know that over the past year, I've been doing just a ton of WebExes, and I can't wait for the day really that we can be back in person and shake hands and say hello to one another. And again, just appreciate your time today on this webinar. So my name is Lois Rauter. I'm a Senior Business Development Manager for Amazon Business. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Amazon Business, what this is, and really talk to you from both the business side as well as the selling side. So if you are a business, which you obviously are, I hope that you have an Amazon Business account. And I'm going to talk about the ways that we help sellers as they are selling on our marketplace, but I want to make sure that you see it from both sides of the equation, if you were. So I'll show you a little bit about Amazon Business, and then we'll move over into selling on Amazon. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get started. First of all, I wanted to just go through a little bit of the table of contents. So I thought it would be great to start out with a customer story and just give you a few examples of how people are selling on Amazon Business today, and use that as the jumping off point to then talk about Amazon Business, how to get started selling here, how to grow and scale your business, and then talk about some resources that you have available as well. And obviously Q&A. So please make sure you are writing your questions down, and we'll hopefully get to all of them today, but if not, I'm sure we'll follow up and make sure you have your questions answered very, very quickly. So with this, I wanted to just start off with a web page that we actually just launched recently. Actually, it was about a month and a half, 2 months ago. And we really wanted to highlight, especially during the Black History Month, a lot of our Black business owners that are selling on Amazon. And in specific, I wanted to highlight somebody that's on this page. She's in the lower left-hand corner in the pink outfit. That's Tracy Pickett. And Tracy owns a company that's called Hairbrella. And Tracy is really interesting in that when she was selling on Amazon, she was just selling on our consumer site on Amazon.com. And when the pandemic hit, she knew that she had to pivot her business. So she took her product, which is it's basically a hair covering for naturally curly hair. So she took that hair cover and she added a mask to it. So she was able to take a product that, again, was just being sold primarily to consumers, and now was able to sell it to others. Like she sold it to surgeons who were looking for something to help with both their hair cover, but as well as a shield. She sold it to people with disabilities that, had to be out in the rain, but didn't necessarily have, enough hands to handle a umbrella, their packages and everything else. So they became a huge purchaser from her, as well as a lot of hospitality workers that now had to employ using a mask as well as hair covering. So Tracy was somebody that, took advantage of Amazon Business to sell her products into businesses. And she actually was able to grow her business by over 500% last year by selling on Amazon and Amazon Business. So I thought that was just a really unique story to share with you. And obviously, looking at all of the businesses that are on this page, they were able to take advantage of the fact that they were selling online. They had a huge customer base, and they were able to continue operating even despite the pandemic. I also wanted to share with you a website, and I'll make sure that you guys have all of these slides, so you don't have to write down website names and everything. But we have a website that's dedicated to small and diverse sellers. And again, we want to make it easy for our buyers to find products from small, diverse, certified sellers. And we're doing a lot in the background to make sure that that's all happening. And then lastly, I wanted to share a quote with you. And this is actually from one of our sellers in Texas. She's in Katy, Texas. And I thought that there were a few things on this specific quote that really stood out to me. So the first thing is that she started selling on Amazon Business, and she said it was like adding several new full-time salespeople, but for a lot less money. And that captured a few elements of our value proposition, which includes the ability to scale into a new e-commerce channel for your business by leveraging our infrastructure that we built at a very low barrier to entry. Second, on this, she said that she's able to sell globally without having to have a global sales strategy. And again, that supports another core value, which is customer acquisition. And the third thing that she said is that she was able to work with government, education, and healthcare customers, and that she wasn't working with those customers earlier. And that, again, underscores another value, that we have a large number of incremental customers that are shopping on Amazon Business that you might not find, or that they might find, it might be hard for them to actually find you. So I think the big takeaway with this is that we don't need to alter or disrupt your existing sales channels. We can actually supplement your sales channel. And we can do that without having to make huge acquisition costs. So customer acquisition costs. You don't have to have the cost of a brick and mortar building. We want to have a low cost, low barrier to entry solution for you. And we want to help you to find new customers, both in the US and abroad. And again, we'll talk more about selling globally in just a few minutes. But I think that what we see here in this quote really highlights all of the value propositions that selling on Amazon Business has for any seller that's out there. So I'll do a quick introduction of Amazon, which I think is a fairly well-known brand out there. But just in case, our founder, Jeff Bezos, really, he had a mantra that we should be Earth's most customer-centric company. And in that way, he wanted us to be guided by 4 principles. And those 4 principles were customer obsession, a passion for invention, commitment to operational excellence, and long-term thinking. And we're really trying to make the buying experience easier, and we work backwards from there to solve all the problems that we find. So because of that philosophy, we've become the price leader, the selection leader, and the convenience leader. And I know that many of us have taken advantage of this, especially as we've been sequestered at home during the pandemic. So Amazon Business. And again, this is from the buyer's perspective that we're starting with here. So what I want to do is I want to talk to you about the value that Amazon Business offers to business buyers and help the sellers to understand why having your products and selection on Amazon is so important. And by the way, like I said, if you don't have an Amazon Business account, you can go sign up for one for free at business.amazon.com. And you can start taking advantage of all of the features that I'm going to be talking about, like differentiated pricing and many things that are out there that can help you as a business to save money. So take advantage of that if you haven't already. So Amazon has been serving customers for over 20 years through online buying and fulfillment. And about 6 years ago, we recognized that there was an opportunity to provide the same type of environment, but for business buyers. And what we saw was that many of our customers were buying products on Amazon.com, and they were taking those products to work. So we saw that that was an issue. We worked backwards from there, and we introduced Amazon Business. So again, we are innovating every day on behalf of our business buyers, and I'm going to talk about a few of the things that are different about Amazon Business from Amazon.com. So in April of 2015, actually, we launched Amazon Business with the tagline, "Everything you love about Amazon, but for work." And we recently just announced our earnings for Amazon Business. So in the last 6 years, Amazon Business has grown to be a $25 billion part of our company. It's actually one of the fastest growing parts of Amazon. So in Amazon Business, we offer selection, again, that's slightly different than our consumer selection. And we wanted to start with categories where we weren't traditionally strong. So we added things like MRO, which is maintenance, repair, and operations products, lab and scientific, and then we added healthcare products and hospitality. We also offered unique pricing features for business buyers with business-only pricing and discounts for business buyers, along with introducing a transparent marketplace where you can see all pricing at any time on our online store. So we don't have negotiated pricing like a lot of other B2B suppliers. All of our pricing is transparent and publicly available to all buyers on our business online store. So we adapted our customer fulfillment network to serve the needs of our business buyers. And we offer things like palletized shipping, bulk shipping, consolidated shipping, and we've continued to innovate over the past 6 years to bring new solutions to market, including Business Prime. And that's a benefit that offers a couple features that I think are really interesting, especially if you're a small business and you're a certified business. So I'll talk about that in just a second. But we offer things like workflow approvals, and we're integrated in a number of different procurement systems out there. So we make it really easy to integrate Amazon into your existing procurement portal. We've also segmented our customer service so that we have a exclusive focus on our business buyers. And again, we've just continued over the past 6 years to innovate on behalf of those business buyers. So by earning trust with our customers, again, we've become more than $25 billion in annualized sales over the past 6 years. We're live in 9 countries, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. But that means that you can start selling immediately across the globe with a click of a button. We have millions of Amazon customers globally, and we have more than 100 million products with business and quantity discounts. So with that, we also have hundreds of thousands of sellers that are selling worldwide. And again, we've become one of Amazon's fastest growing businesses. So you might ask, who is buying on Amazon Business? So if you're going to be selling here, what type of customers are actually buying? Well, we serve over 80 of the 100 largest educational institutions. We sell to over 55 of the Fortune 100 companies. We have more than 75,000 nonprofits that are buying online. We have more than 50% of the 100 largest hospitals here, and we have more than 40% of the largest local largest populous governments. So we were recently awarded a contract with the GSA. It's a 3-year contract, along with Overstock.com and Fisher Scientific. And that contract is for micro purchases under $10,000 and is valued at about $6 billion. So what does all that mean for you? Well, it means that if you're selling on Amazon Business, you have access to all these customers. You have access to that GSA contract that we just won. You don't need to go and get your own contracts. You don't need to negotiate. You don't need to wait for payment. You can basically sell on Amazon, and we'll take care of all of that for you. And when we get to the seller part of this, I'll go through exactly how that's going to work. But just know that by selling here, these are the customers that are purchasing, so you have access to all of them. So if you participated, if you are selling on Amazon and you participated in Prime Day last year, our third-party sellers, which most of those are small and medium businesses, surpassed $3.5 billion in sales, which was nearly a 60% increase year over year by being part of that. So again, a great opportunity for you as a seller. So I talked about our online store, that it's an open, transparent marketplace. So it's an important benefit for our customers and for our buyers, because they know that they can get a broad selection of products, and there's multiple suppliers that are competing for their purchase. So it's very common that you're going to have an individual item that has multiple offers. You can see in the middle where we're comparison shopping on this slide, with multiple offers, with differentiated pricing, differentiated fulfillment options, and different sellers that are selling it. So it's one of the reasons that we've been able to move forward without negotiated pricing to individual customers, because the power of the online store drives price competition and savings for our customers. And it also offers alternate products. So you may actually find things that you weren't even looking for, where we're going to offer a different brand or a different type of product, and you'll find even greater value in that. So there's a tremendous opportunity to save money, save time in procurement as a business buyer on our marketplace. On this slide, I wanted to talk a little bit about our diversity certifications. So for anybody on the call or the webinar today, we allow you as a seller to upload your certification. So if you are a certified women-owned business, minority business, you're HubZone, you're a veteran, please make sure that when you sign up that you upload that certification. And the reason that we want you to do that is that it is a huge differentiator for you. As I talked about earlier, there's millions and millions of buyers, and there's millions of sellers as well. But what's differentiated is that if you're certified, you're one of very few that are certified. So we want you to upload that certification to your seller profile, and we'll expose that to customers so that as they're buying, they'll be able to more easily find you and purchase products from you. So again, you don't have to be certified, but if you are, it's a huge advantage for you to take advantage of uploading that into your seller profile. Guided buying is something that I touched on briefly before, but it's a very, very powerful tool that's available with Business Prime. and it allows our buyers to set up policies, again, that can help to expose more of our sellers. So guided buying can help you to understand the types of products that as an administrator of an account you want to highlight to your buyers. It allows you to put more controls in place so that you can direct spending. Perhaps there's a category of product that you don't want people to buy online. You can actually restrict that through your guided buying policies. So it's a very, very powerful tool for an administrator to use in their business account. I also want to highlight something that's available no matter if you have Business Prime or not. So as a business buyer, you're actually able to set up what we call a diversity credential policy. And by doing that, you're actually able to, again, highlight specific sellers that have the certifications that you're interested in making sure that you're buying. So if you have socioeconomic goals that you're trying to achieve, we want to help you to achieve those, and we make it really easy. So on the left side of the screen, you see what's highlighted, which is the buying policy. That's something that you would click on. When you click on that and look at the right-hand side, that's where it's got all of the national certifications that are available. You can select all of them or just specific certifications that you want to support. And on the bottom portion of the right-hand side, what's there is your ability as a buyer to highlight these sellers, but maybe with a little bit more control. So if you highlight them and you say, okay, I want to show all minority-owned businesses, regardless if their price is much higher than what is going to be shown as winning the buy box. And I'll talk about that in a minute, but you can select anybody regardless of their price, if that's your desire. Or you can say, I only want to see highlighted sellers if their price is within 5, 10, or 15% of the best price available. So again, we give our buyers a tremendous amount of control so that they can highlight the sellers that they really want to support for their socioeconomic goals. And the next slide will show us what that looks like. So in this case, I was searching for paper cups. It brought up a selection of those. All of them are highlighted by my organization. So you can see on the top where it's got highlight by your organization over the cup. And then for each one of the cups, it says that those are organizational highlight as well, which means that they meet that your organization's goal of supporting some certification. So when I click on the cup, I actually will see more information. And what's highlighted is their certification. So it talks about the fact that it's going to ship from and it's sold by the office techs. So by Rita, our seller that we just talked about in the very beginning. And it says that her credentials include women-owned. She's got women-owned small business, economically disadvantaged, and she's a registered small. So those are all of her certifications. And when I clicked on that, I'm actually able to pull up the exact certification so I can validate that and show exactly what certification is there. And as a buyer, it really helps to gain trust with those sellers. So the more information that I can see, the more trust I think that's going to be imparted. So I know that I'm buying from a women business enterprise, and I'm now going to go ahead and make that purchase. So again, we're trying to make it as easy as possible for our buyers to find certified sellers and buy from them. And then lastly, this is the brochure that talks about how to set up a policy. It's super easy. There's 4 simple steps and you've got a policy set up. So with that, I'm going to go transition to just a couple slides on selling on Amazon business. So again, I really encourage anyone that hasn't signed up to go to sell.amazon.com. You can see that I've highlighted the webinar or the URL at the top of this slide. This actually, if you go to sell.amazon.com, that's where you'd go to actually register, set up an account, and it'll take you into starting to sell on Amazon. I also highlighted the beginner's guide, which will give you every single thing you need to know to get started here. So again, you'll get the slides, but if you're writing down something, sell.amazon.com/beginner/ or dash guide is where you want to go. So we're going to talk about selling on Amazon. So when you register to sell, you need 5 basic things. You need a bank account and a bank routing number. You need a credit card. You need a government ID, your tax information, and your phone number. And when you do that, you'll be set up so that now you can start selling on Amazon. And when you sell on Amazon, you are going to be creating your inventory list. You're going to be setting and adjusting your pricing. You'll manage your orders and payments. And when you think about payments, Amazon's going to pay you every 14 days in the bank account that you provided to us. So when someone buys something on Amazon, again, within 14 days, that's going to be remitted into your account. We pay those credit card transaction fees. So you don't have to worry about that. You also don't have to worry that if you're selling this to a government account or maybe a commercial account who's paying by invoice, you don't have to wait until they pay us for us to pay you. We pay you within 14 days, regardless of whether or not we get paid. So again, it's a really great way for you from a cash flow perspective to know that as you sell here, you're going to be getting that remittance every 14 days. And one other thing too, as during the past 12 months, which ended on May 31st, American small and medium businesses sold an average of 3.4 billion products in our stores. And that was an average of 6,500 products sold per minute on our stores. So with that, I want to talk to you a little bit about some of the ways that you can sell. And, you know, more than 50% of our revenue comes from small and medium businesses. Last year, our small and medium business sellers sales grew from about $100,000 to $160,000. So that was a huge increase year over year. And again, the number of small businesses that surpassed $1 million in sales last year grew by over 20%. And over 3,700 American small and medium businesses surpassed $1 million in sales for the very first time last year. And on this slide, I've highlighted just a couple of the areas that we have web pages for and areas that we're supporting. So we're supporting women-owned businesses, military business. We have other sites that I'll talk about at the very end of this presentation, but just know that we have websites that are specifically set up to help inform our buyers of the opportunities to buy from various types of sellers. So selling on Amazon it's fairly simple, it's straightforward, but there's 3 ways that you can do that. And I wanted to just make sure that you know that as we're talking about selling on Amazon, when we're talking about selling, we know that our sellers are our customers too. And we want to help make this a great experience. We want to help, again, broaden your geographical reach. We want to expose your products to millions and millions of new customers. And we know that it's been a game changer for many of our customers. You know, today there's over 300 million customers that are on Amazon, that have paying accounts, that are active buyers with a huge intent to purchase. So there's a tremendous number of customers that are here every day looking to purchase your products. But there's a few paths to be able to do that. So if you follow the orange line on the top, that's for when you want to sell to Amazon. And that's a great option for people that are manufacturers or brand owners. And in that case, they sell their products to Amazon. It's called the 1P model. And in that case, because you're selling those products to us, we are the ones that set the price on those products. We do the shipping, we do the customer service for those products. If you look at the blue line, that's what we call a 3P model. And in that case, that's a reseller that might want to be selling their products on Amazon. So in that case, they're selling their products through Amazon. They set their own pricing on that. They do their own customer service and they do their own shipping. So that's one way to do that. If you look at the yellow line in the middle, that's a hybrid model. So it's still a 3P model. So you're still selling through Amazon. You still set your own pricing. But in this case, they're utilizing our fulfillment center. So they're utilizing what we call Fulfillment by Amazon, or FBA. And in that case, again, they set their pricing, but we do all the logistics. So we do the pick, pack, and shipping. We do the customer service. We handle returns. We handle everything. So for sellers that have inventory that can ship it into one of our fulfillment centers, that's a great option. When you do that, your products are automatically tagged with the Prime label. And that's something that you really need to think about, in that many of our buyers, when they're searching online on Amazon, they actually search for Prime products. So they want to know that those products are going to get there in a couple of days or less. And when they do that, if your product isn't in Prime, they'll never see your product. So they're only looking for Prime-based products. So if you can ship your products in, I definitely recommend taking advantage of it. And we'll talk more about that in the next presentation. So those are the 3 ways that you can sell through Amazon or to Amazon. So this is a little bit of some things that we need to think about for next steps. So if you're interested in selling on Amazon, I would recommend that you go to sell.amazon.com and set up an account. What you need to think about, though, are the products that you're going to be selling. So if you're a reseller, you need to make sure that you have a relationship with a wholesaler or a distributor that will allow you to sell those products. You also need to make sure that you can get the products quickly, that those are priced effectively, and that it's aligned to a business need if you're looking at selling on Amazon Business. So again, think about maintenance, repair, and operations, lab and scientific, hospitality, things like that would be really good items to sell on Amazon Business. If you have a selling account and you are certified, make sure you've uploaded your certification to your seller profile. That, again, is a huge competitive advantage and a marketing opportunity for you as well. If you are again, selling on Amazon, you know that you have Seller University, which is content that's available to you at all times. It's really short in duration. They're great content. And I would definitely recommend that if you have a selling account, that you go through Seller University and take those courses. If you don't have an account and you still want to learn more, you can go and you can take courses at the Amazon Small Business Academy. Those courses are conducted on a weekly basis. They both have on-demand courses as well as recorded. So definitely recommend that you check out our Small Business Academy. You don't need a selling account. They're free courses, so feel free to go there and take as many of those as you want. And we definitely recommend that you do that. If you need help, the email address that I want to provide to you is B2B, and then the letters S, like Sam, local, certified, sales. And so it's B2B SLC sales at Amazon.com. That's an email address that if you need help, I can make sure that you get it. And again, questions, feel free to reach out there and I'm happy to help. And then for anybody that's on today that might have a service question, I'm going to provide this deck again. So it's got a link where you can go and check for service options that are available. During COVID, we pretty much put a pause on allowing anyone to sell services because we couldn't get into businesses or people's homes. but I do want you to check out that website. As soon as our registration is open again, you'd be welcome to go and register and sell your services. So those will be provided to you after this presentation. And then lastly, for anybody that's on today that maybe is thinking that, hey, I don't have a business product that I'm selling. Maybe I'm an artist. I've, I do painting, or I've created pottery or jewelry or anything that's handmade. We have a website that's called Amazon Handmade. So I would recommend that you go to that site, and you can find all of the sites that are listed here if you go to amazon.com/build your business. So we've got merchandise by Amazon, Amazon Handmade. If you're interested in becoming a delivery service partner, you can go there and apply and see if that's an option for you. If you're a writer and you want to publish, you can go to Amazon Kindle and publish a book for free. So there's lots of different ways that you can engage with Amazon and lots of different opportunities here. If you are brand new and you are thinking, hey, I don't even have an idea yet, go to Amazon Launchpad. It's great. It's got opportunity in areas for you if you're new and you're just trying to think through what you might want to do. Lastly, if you're not certified, but you could be, please, reach out to NMSDC, WeBank, SAM.gov, SBA. There's lots of different websites for you to go to get certified, and I would definitely highlight the fact that would be a great option for you if you're going to be selling here. And then again, if you have questions, please feel free to reach out to the email address b2bslcsales@amazon.com, and I'd be happy to help. So with that, I will turn it back over and see if there's any questions.
Thank you very much. Well, I have a few questions for you. The first one, what are the requirements for a company to become a seller? Do you have any kind of requirements?
No, you have products, you can sell those products as long as you have a relationship with a wholesaler or you're a manufacturer or brand owner, and you have the rights to sell those products. You can sell those online. So if you have inventory, you have good product pricing, those are the things that we're really interested in making sure that you have.
Great. I have another two questions about the technical part, about the integration. And you said that it was simple to integrate to most purchasing systems,
right?
Procurement system. Is it also possible to integrate with the ERPs, and how is it process? What is it like?
Yes. So when you sign up for a business account, there's going to be a ton of resources available for you to be able to do that. So we have integrations that are pretty much ready to go for over 100 different systems. So as you're signing up, as you're setting up your account, there are customer advisors that can help you walk through those processes in terms of how to do that. But it truly is, there's an API, it's ready to go. You basically go into your account, select which system you want to integrate with, click go, and you're done.
Great. So if my system is on the list, simple. And if it's not, is there any possibility?
Yeah, we're adding every single day. So if it's a commercial system that's out there, it's probably already on the list. And again, if it's not on the list, just know that you can always provide that feedback, and we're always adding more and more.
Excellent. And I have one more. Let me see. Yes. How much does it cost? Because how much does it cost to have this account? Because there are some different options with fulfillment, without fulfillment, Amazon fulfillment. How does it
Right. Great question. So everything I talked about today was for someone that wants to be a professional seller. So a professional Amazon account, which means that you can have as many products as you want to sell on Amazon. So you could have, 40,000 different products in your on your catalog. It costs $39.99 a month to set up your Amazon account. And then based on the category of product that you're selling, there's something that's called a category fee. And that ranges anywhere from 8% to 15%. So for example, if you're selling computers would be 8%. And so what that means is that when you sell it for $100, you know, Amazon's going to remit $92 into your account after that product is sold. $8 is our fee because it's 8%. So, you know, when you're setting up your pricing, you're going to have a full list of all the category fees. And you can even Google, you know, Amazon fees today. They're all publicly available. Everybody pays the same amount. So you can see the category fees, and that fee is then, you know, deducted from the price of the product. The rest of it's put into your bank account. So that's how it goes. And if you utilize FBA, I think we're going to have another discussion around that. But we do have FBA calculators. So you'll see, before you ever decide that you want to do that, you'll see whether or not this is going to make sense for you to use us or not. So we want to give you all that information up front, so you make the right decision for your business, you price your products appropriately, and you have the best chance of winning based on, you know, those prices and really what the market is doing right now.
Great. And the last question I have, and it's more related to the marketing side, has to do with the relationship between the final customers or the business, the buyer,
yes,
and the seller, because in some of the models you presented, Amazon is the front of the relationship. And how does it work?
Yes, so Amazon is the front. So we are, when a customer buys a product from us, if you're doing the shipping, so let's say you're not using us, you're going to have all the customer data. You're going to have their name, you're going to have their address, you're going to have all of the things that you need to get the product to them. But we have terms and conditions that you basically sign when you're signing up for an account, and those terms and conditions pretty much tell you that the communication that happens between you and the customer happens through your seller account on Amazon. And that's where you can send them email. That's where they will send you email. So it's contained within that ecosystem, if you will. And that's how all communication happens. If we're doing the fulfilling, then all you're going to know is the type of customer and you know, what did they buy from you. So we're not going to share, you know, the customer name and their address and everything else, because there's no need for you to have that. It's really just a matter of, we'll fulfill it, we'll provide all the information, and we will tell you, is it a government account, is it a commercial account? So from a reporting perspective, you can really start to see, like, where am I penetrating, which market am I penetrating, and, you know, obviously maybe start some campaigns. If all of a sudden you're getting a ton of business through a hospital, that might, and you hadn't before, that might give you an indication that, oh, I should, you know, maybe position my products more for that. So we'll give you that type of information so you can make the right marketing decisions.
Great. Thank you very much for all your answers. Well, I don't know if anyone else has any other question here. Let me see. No more questions.
And I know my peer is on, so hopefully we can get her online soon. Do you see her?
I see her, but she is muted.
Yeah, she's muted.
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi there.
Hello. We can see half of your head. And
can you see me now?
There you go.
I can't see myself. I don't know why.
How are you?
Better like this.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you guys. Thank you, Luis, for having me.
Thank you.
So can you guys hear me and see me? Because I can't see myself. I only see Luis, which is Yeah. All right. So yeah, Luis invited me to, answer any questions you guys might have. I am Melissa Ventura. I'm an account manager for Brazil Marketplace. The moment you guys, as Luis explained to you, register an account in the US, automatically you are able to sell in many other marketplaces, and Brazil is one of them. So the possibilities are almost infinite. We have several marketplaces all over the world that you can sign up after you have your Amazon account, and actually most of US Amazon account, and actually most of them are free once you start paying your fee for the US. Brazil is one of them, what we call a unified account with US. You don't need any paperwork, any legal entity, there's no registration fee, there's no monthly fee. You actually have an account manager for free during your first year. We work as a calendar year, so if you want to move forward this year, the sooner the better, because you have an account manager until December. Luis is going to be sharing my email with you guys. Feel free to contact me. We can schedule a 101 for you to learn more about Brazil. And the peculiarity about Brazil, as Luis said, I don't know if you guys remember that you can, for all the other marketplaces, you can click on the link once you have access to what we call your Seller Central platform. That's where you're going to be adding all your products and managing all your account. So there you have access to all the other marketplaces. There are links to sell in Europe, to sell in Singapore, MENA, Middle East, North Africa, and Australia, Japan. As I said, the possibilities are infinite. But Brazil is a very peculiar marketplace because we are in the beginning now. So we are only inviting sellers. So it's not all the sellers that can sell on Amazon. And because you're part of this webinar today, if you are interested in selling in Brazil, feel free to reach out to me and I'll be happy to guide you through the process and open your Brazil account free of charge for you. So as I said, Brazil is a unified account with the US, and we will help you, your account manager, could be me, could be one of my colleagues. We will help you with listings, with shipping. We have already accounts with different shipping companies with good rates for all the Amazon sellers. We will translate your listings into Portuguese. We will help you price your items based on the Brazilian market, and we'll be, helping you with returns and customer support and giving you all the guidance for your first year once you launch in Brazil. So Brazil currently do not have FBA, which is also what Luis was explaining, is that you ship to a warehouse and Amazon hosts your products, and the moment you sell, Amazon ships for you. So we don't have this program yet, but the advantage of entering Brazil, besides being the 5th largest nation in the world, is that you will be one of the first players. Again, this marketplace is not open to everybody. The international sellers cannot list and launch in Brazil yet. So you have the opportunity of being one of the first players. We will open to everyone probably beginning of next year. So this year you still have this advantage and you're being invited to launch. And then I believe that's about it for Brazil. Again, it's a very simple process. We did all the homework basically for you guys. We will guide you and hold your hands throughout the whole process. In the US, because it's a more mature market for US sellers, it's more like you're more on your own. But for Brazil and all the other international marketplaces, you have a dedicated account manager. But again, you would have to sign up for the US first and then move on to the other marketplaces that you would like to move on. But it's very simple, and we receive your money in dollar at a bank of your choice in the US, and you don't need to pay any taxes in Brazil, besides, of course, the import taxes, depending on your product and depending on your price point as well. I'm actually Brazilian myself. I'm in Brazil right now. So Amazon is booming here, is all over the place, but I do live in Seattle. And I can help you with a lot of market insights. I was a business owner myself for many years here in Brazil. I had a retail business at different malls here, and I'm very aware of how Brazilians shop and how the whole Brazilian retail and e-commerce works. So I can give you a lot of insights. So I don't know if you guys have any questions for me.
Yes, Melissa and Luis, I have a question about that. What if a company is interested in using these possibilities of Amazon businesses, but it's an Argentinian company? It's not in the US yet.
Yes. Unfortunately, right now, for you to have to list in Brazil and launch in Brazil, it has to be a US account. You have to have a US business. We will soon open to any other country, but because this is still like the first and a half, we just launched this in March. Actually, we just turned 1 year. This program, Amazon Brazil is there for 6 years already. We're selling in Brazil, all categories, for domestic sellers only, but this program for international sellers, we just started in March. And unfortunately now we need to have a US address and a US company, but soon we will open to all other international marketplaces or companies. Like if you have a company in Argentina, in any other marketplace, you'll be able to sell on Amazon Brazil and ship from Argentina. The shipping though, you can ship from anywhere. The only prerequisite is that you have a US a company register in the .com first, then we can expand your account. But you can ship from anywhere. I have a lot of sellers shipping from South America.
If it's the same, if an Argentinian company wants to sell through business, Amazon business, but to the US, it should be registered in the US first.
Yes. Yes. So if an Argentinian company wants to sell at Amazon US or Amazon any other marketplace, you could register in the Amazon US. But I do believe for the US, you can use your Argentinian business. I know that I do see a lot of sellers that have accounts registered in Canada, account registered in Mexico, like their business, their actual business. So I do believe you are able to have your business in Argentina and sign up in the .com. Although for Brazil, this is not possible, again, because it's the pilot program. But you might have to have a bank account in the US.
Okay. If you can follow up and confirm that for us, that would be nice, because we have people from Argentina that are
okay
participating in this webinar, and that would be
I'll do that.
So I don't know if it's another question. Let me see. We already responded that it's available only for US. Already responded. So I think we don't have any other questions at the moment. Gabby?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that there are no more questions in our channel.
And then just to point out that opening a bit, because I had my business in the US as well, like opening a business in the US is very, very simple. You can do everything online. And I do have several sellers I have a Colombian seller that she opened a US because she was really interested in Brazil. So she opened a US company pretty quickly and started selling in Brazil. So you don't need to be physically present or again, ship physically from the US. All you need is to have a US business number.
Times in Argentina or in Latin America, it's so difficult to open an account.
I know. I was so amazed when I opened my account in the US. I just click a few buttons and the account was open. I was like, wow, is that simple? Because in Brazil is such a huge bureaucracy. It's crazy. So that's why it's easy for the US sellers to sell in Brazil. And it's the bureaucracy that do not allow us to be quick and open to all other worldwide sellers, because US is so easy.
Well, thank you very much, Gabby. I don't know if there's something else that we should comment or.
No, thanks. Thanks, Luis. Thanks, Melissa. Thanks for sharing all that valuable information. I think it's so good to have first-hand knowledge of how the process works, how easy it is. And thank you, because it's very, I think it's very valuable for our members to have such information. So thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for preparing all this. And we definitely look forward to the second session on April the 8th. So we're gonna see you on that day again. And that's it. Thank you, and thanks to all the participants for joining us today. And we look forward to having you all in our next webinar. So keep in touch through our social media channels and our website. And thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.